Hey, what's up, everybody? Will Carroll here with another episode of Bleeding Priest Bay Area Metal Spotlight. It's been a minute. I haven't done one in a while, so I'm stoked to be getting back at it. Today's band is a very important thrash metal band in the Bay Area scene. They put out 2 records on Metal Blade, and great friends of mine still to this day, some of them. And the band is Epidemic. And I'm going to be talking about their first Metal Blade release, Decameron. They actually did put out a vinyl the year before, or 2 years before this came out, called The Truth of What Will Be. And that was their demo 89 put on wax. And some people consider that their first album. I know the guys in the band don't really consider that their first official full-length album. They consider this one, Decameron, to be their first official full-length record, and I do too. So man, this album, it's a tragic piece of work. Man, the songs are fucking punishing. The band's playing great. Bobby Cochran, fucking sick drummer. He sounds great on this record. Everything is working in their favor. All cylinders are firing. Except for the way the album sounds, the production, it's a shame. It's like such a missed opportunity. Epidemic were the biggest unsigned thrash metal band in the late 80s, 89, 90, and they were like packing the Stone and the Omni on their own, like headlining, so they were drawing the same amount of people that Violence would draw sometimes, so they were riding high, and their 2 demos that they put out 3 demos, but the 2 demos worth mentioning sold incredibly well, and like the world knew who Epidemic was. So when they recorded this album, I was hanging out with those guys a lot at the time. My roommate was good friends with them, and so was I. So there was a lot of excitement. We were all stoked for them, and we were just ready to hear this fucking record. And the demo leading up to this album, Unpleasantries, no, I'm kidding, it's called Extremities, 91, is great. It sounds killer, and I think every song on that demo, minus one, is on this album, and the demo smokes this record, so that's not a good start. When I first heard this album, I'm like, oh, dude, the demo sounded way better, and I'm not one of those guys, like the dudes in Hellhunter, maybe, who like automatically like the demo better than the album. There's a lot of metalheads like that, but I was rooting for this record. I thought it was going to smoke that demo and be the shit, and unfortunately, it didn't deliver on the production end. On the production end, the performances are great, but the problem is the guitar tone. It's just so mushy. There's no definition or bite, and some of these riffs on here could peel paint, but if you don't have the proper tone, the proper sound for it, then it's lost. It loses all its oomph, So, yeah, the guitar tone's just really washy. And Guy Higbee, who was in the original Epidemic, he's on this album. He told me in detail what went wrong with the guitars, and I'm not going to try to explain it now. I'm not going to attempt to remember what he told me. I'm not a technical guy, and I don't know shit about engineering and recording, really. So I'm not going to make an attempt to tell you what happened, but he did tell me, like a frequency was lost in the guitar tone or something got erased in the frequency for the guitar tone. So there was no high-end bite, maybe, but it ruined the guitar tone, and Guy discovered that what the problem was right before they were going to release the record, or maybe like right before they were going to give the album to Metal Blade, and he wanted to remix the album. Don't give this version to Metal Blade, but they had to. Like the clock was ticking, and Metal Blade accepted the album as is and thought it was okay for release, and they did release it. And it's not terrible sounding, but if you hear the demo leading up to this, you're like, damn, like that sounds better, and it shouldn't be like that, And the same guy engineered that demo and this record. So I don't know what went wrong with him working on this album, but something did go wrong, and it's unfortunate, such a missed opportunity. I love these songs, and I loved Epidemic. And funny thing is, they followed this album up with a brilliant record. Well, it never came out on vinyl. A brilliant album called Exit Paradise in '94. But unfortunately, between when this album came out in '92 going to '94, the entire music world had completely changed. And no one gave a shit about Bay Area thrash really by '94. Even though Exit Paradise is more of a death metal album than a thrash metal album, but you know, it was just too late. So that album didn't really get any notice at all. And Epidemic broke up really soon after that album came out. And Guy Higbee had quit the band by then. He actually, I think he quit the band because of how this record turned out. He did the Cannibal Corpse tour, but I think his mind was already set that he was going to leave. And yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. It's such a missed opportunity for these guys. If this album was remixed, like if Metal Blade wanted to like remix this album and re-release it again, because this is a re-release that came out a few years ago. But yeah, if they wanted to do that and give it a proper guitar sound, I mean, what's the point now? It's so many years later. But damn, if this record had crushing guitar tone on it, I can't believe I said crushing. I can't stand that word. But anyways, if this album had a ripping guitar tone, Epidemic would have been fucking huge. I think they would have lasted much longer than two albums. I mean, they would have been big and successful. But I shouldn't complain too much because them breaking up led to Old Grandad, and so that was a decade and a half of a lot of drugs and a lot of alcohol and some music too.